The chess master recommends bishop takes knight. Your bishop captures knight, which removes the threat on your king. White responds with pawn takes bishop, which checks your king with a discovered check. You move your knight at g8 to f6, which protects your king and your knight at h7. White counters with bishop to g6, which skewers your king and checks your king. You move your king to g8, which moves it out of check. White counters with pawn takes knight. As a result of this line of play, the pressure on your king is somewhat decreased. However, losing a bishop and a knight for a knight cannot be avoided. D takes e5 isolates own pawn at e7 and own pawn at e5, leads to bishop d3 g6 check, king f7 g6, queen d2 d3 check, which wins a bishop and a knight. Better is bishop takes e5. The chess master recommends pawn takes bishop. Your pawn captures bishop, which checks black's king with a discovered check. Black counters with the knight at g8 to f6, which protects black's king and black's knight at h7. Your bishop captures knight. Black counters with pawn captures pawn, which protects black's knight and creates a passed pawn on e5. You move your queen to d3, which threatens mate, queen to g6, and removes the threat on your bishop at h7. Black counters by moving the pawn to e4, which threatens your queen and pushes the passed pawn. Your queen captures pawn, which threatens checkmate, queen to g6, and protects your bishop at h7. Black replies by moving pawn to e6. You move your bishop to g6, which skewers black's king and checks black's king. Black responds with king to g8, which moves it out of check. Your knight captures knight, which removes the threat on your queen and checks black's king. Black responds with rook takes knight, which protects black's king. Your rook captures rook. Black replies by moving the queen to g7, which removes the threat on black's pawn at h6 and threatens your rook at f6. You move your bishop to f7, which checks black's king. Black replies by moving the king to f8, which moves it out of check. Your bishop takes pawn at h6, which partially pins black's queen, threatens black's queen, and creates passed pawns on g4 and h3. As a result of this line of play, you win a rook, a bishop, 2 knights, and 2 pawns for a knight and a pawn. Additionally, your attack potential is greatly enhanced, and black's attack potential is greatly decreased. Also, your pawn development is a little stronger, and the development of black's pawns is somewhat weakened. Lastly, the pressure on black's king is slightly increased.